begin.
What is up, Wise Take Nation? Welcome to another edition of the MLB DFS podcast. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I am joined once again by one of Wise Take's finest DFS analysts, Mr. Stevie Brown. You can find him on Twitter at Stevie Brown DFS, aka Get Down with Stevie Brown. Stevie, how you doing, bro?
Good. Got a nice Yankees comeback win. I got my Blazers bet alive right now. Can't complain. Everything's going pretty smooth.
All right, man. I like it. I know you got it.
I have been known to mush, though, so I shouldn't have said a word about
That's
that.
true.
I shouldn't have said a damn word about that.
I baited you, though. I baited you into that one. You know?
Yeah, I know, but when you get that PayPal request tomorrow for fucking making me say that, then you know it's coming.
Yeah. I just, like, when you ask an open-ended question and, like, I can see that, like, I obviously before the show you told me you had the game on. So, like, you just dropped that, I ask you an open-ended question, and it's on your mind. So it's just what came out. That's awesome. We got a huge slate, Stevie. It's a monstrous slate.
Huge slate, a lot of nice pitching, as always. It's good, though. I feel like the last few shows have been on here. We said, like, some of the top pitching has been in more difficult matchups, and then, like, there's always some shitty pitching at the bottom that we can pick on a lot.
Yeah.
But these top-tier pitchers are in some of the better matchups right now, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Picking between them tomorrow is going to be a little more rough.
Yes. Narrowing things down tomorrow will be tough. I mean, it was kind of, for me, it was kind of tough narrowing things down today, and it was only an 8-game slate, so should be interesting to see where we go. Before we get into the slate, Stevie, I'm going to make a request that I should have made before the show, and that is that you move a little bit more over, because right now it looks like you're trying to hide from me.
This way? Or?
Yeah, that way.
Okay.
There you go. We're in it. Okay, we're in it to win it. Let's talk cash games, Stevie. It's massive. We got a lot of pretty good names, but I think that there's like one or two that kind of scale above the rest in terms of SP1s. Curious to hear your thoughts. What are you thinking for cash game SP1?
Yeah, I think the obvious top one, it stands out, of course. I mean, the top 4, top 5 are all pretty appealing, but Verlander, he's super expensive on DK, especially compared to some of the other top-end pitching. But going against the White Sox, he's definitely going to be the top option there. His control of the season's been great. His K stuff's still there. I usually pick on anyone against the White Sox. Lacking power, have some strikeout upside there. T-Mobile towards the bottom. So I think Verlander stands out right now as one of the top pitching options.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think in cash games, you find a way to make him work. I know that some people have taken to paying down a pitcher, and I think that's a viable strategy because we have a ton of pitchers. But I think if you have a team built and you can afford to get Verlander, I don't see why you wouldn't want to play him. He's at home. Especially for cash games, I would prioritize him in cash just because we saw what Peacock did to the White Sox today. Struck out 9 in 5 innings. You'd expect Verlander. If this game was in Chicago, maybe there's a little bit of an argument, but being that he's at home against these White Sox, it's JV, and he's just a tier above the rest. I'm with you on that. What about SP2 on DraftKings? Is there a guy, we'll hope for a cheaper guy? Is there anybody that kind of sticks out?
I mean, shit, I'm looking to almost pay up for both spots tomorrow if possible. Between Caleb Smith, obviously, he's expensive too, but it's been super tough this season to jam like 2 elite pitching options in, bigger slate maybe, but to pay up for both Verlander or Caleb Smith's gonna be close to impossible. But I mean, Caleb Smith is another SB1 option. He's definitely up there.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, he's a great pivot.
Yeah, I love him. Obviously, like I think he's not gonna get the attention he deserves tomorrow because just the name when you see Verlander versus White Sox stands out. But going against the Tigers, and he's been absolutely elite too. 35% carried on the year, controls there. The swinging strike rate is absolutely amazing at 16.5% so far. He's another SB1 option, but going down a little bit too. German Marquez, obviously he's a little more expensive too, but Uh, Another guy, a lot of him on the slate, decent K rate. Uh, Control's been there. Obviously, Pirates offense is nothing to be scared of at all. And then the other guy I'm looking at too, it's been crazy because when I'm playing these guys against the Marlins now, they sometimes can tend to kill me, even these studs. Look at Thor against them the other day and DeGrom. Turnbull at a cheaper price tag against the Marlins just because it's the Marlins, and he's been actually a little bit consistent too. So,
Yeah, dude, he's
at a
been
cheaper
good.
price
He's
tag,
been good. Turnbull's
yeah,
been good. Even in that game against Oakland, like he gave up like a total of 6 runs, but only like one of them was earned. And like his team got destroyed. But I like it against Miami. I mean, they went out there and it's not like they destroyed the Mets offensively. The Mets just couldn't hit. You know what I mean? Like they won one of the games 3-0. I think DeGrom was the only one that actually got kind of lit up. So I think that in terms of lineup flexibility, Detroit is actually a small favorite in this. Not that I think it matters. This is a coin flip between these two terrible offenses, but I think that Turnbull against Miami is a pretty decent place to start, right? Like and see what you can afford to get in, and if you can upgrade from there, great. But I think that's not a bad place to start. If it was in Miami, I would like that a little more. Lose the DH,
yeah. Of course,
bigger
Parker
park,
right there.
right? But I'm with you. Let's talk tournaments. Going back up to the top, you mentioned Caleb Smith. What do you think? Is that like a tournament pivot that you're looking to play, or are you a little nervous choosing him over Verlander in a tournament?
I mean, it's going to come down to the ownership thing. He could come out more chalky than Verlander tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he could be fractional than Verlander, and that also wouldn't surprise me. But either way, cash tournaments, anything, I'm looking to play him. So I'll definitely want to be jamming him in for some good tournament exposure. Otherwise, up top two, Domingo Herman, man, he came out last year too, pretty strong. We knew he had nice K stuff, but he gave up a lot of long balls. But he's suppressed that a lot this season. I just don't like that he hasn't been getting stretched out. Like he's been pitching amazing in all of his outings, but not really getting that high pitch count that I'd love to see here. Which kind of obviously brings him down a notch under those other elite arms. But going against that Orioles offense, obviously we know there's a lot of upside to be found against them. Still nice K stuff. He's a little cheaper than the other two. I don't want to play Greinke in that price range, so I don't think Herman's a terrible option. If you want to go like two expensive arms like Smith and Herman in DK tournaments.
Yeah, I think that Herman has looked really good, man. He's had elite looking stuff. Baltimore has kind of owned J.A. Happ all season, so I don't know if it was like even for the people that did like Hap, I don't think it was like a huge surprise if he didn't do well. Like if you played him tonight, you played him knowing like okay, there's a good chance he's gonna get hit, just because of the history. Like unfortunately for him, when these guys play, it's always gonna be in a bad park for pitching. It's gonna be in Baltimore. It's gonna be in New York, Yankee Stadium, and some of these guys just own him, like Nunez and Mancini, so just a bunch of these dudes, and apparently now Hansel Adalberto, I think it's how you say his name. But
What a game he had,
yeah,
man.
man, just the
He ended up with 38 DKP, 36.
just a monstrous game. But yeah, I think Herman is a lot better than J.A. Happ, and we know the Orioles can strike out a ton, so I think that's a nice pivot. I still don't feel totally comfortable coming off of Verlander. And that's going to make it more difficult for me to do a double spend up, I think. Caleb Smith, I'm very tempted. I'm a big Caleb Smith guy. I know you're a big Caleb Smith guy.
Me too. I love him.
Yes, last year, I think he won over the entire Wise Take Nation with how good he was. Just so reliable. He was always priced low. It was just a beautiful thing. Detroit, though, it's a ballpark this ballpark is a ballpark that typically favors right-handed hitting. All right, they do that on purpose. Like they usually stack up their team with a bunch of righties for that purpose. And I'm not afraid of these guys, but I'm worried in terms of ceiling, and I think Verlander has the higher ceiling. So I wanna I don't feel totally comfortable coming off of Verlander for Caleb, and I realize I'm gonna have to pick one. So we'll have to dig in tomorrow, see what the lineups look like, and make a decision. But
Yeah, of course you got to factor into like it's pretty minute, but you got to think Verlander's a lot more likely to get the win there
Right,
than
right. It's literally a coin
Caleb
flip.
Smith
That's the
and
biggest
Tigers. Yeah,
drawback with Caleb Smith. You're paying so much money, and the win is going to be like pulling teeth every time. Like we were just talking about it. Like when was the last time Miami was favored in a game? And I feel like if they would have been up against almost any other pitcher except for Boyd, I feel like he would have been favored in this game. But like, it was like Turnbull and Boyd, like the only two guys that he probably would have been favored over, and like that happens to be, you know, just how shit works out. What about cheaper options for tournaments, TV? Does anybody stand out to you?
I don't mind. I mean, this is still kind of floating in the mid range because I don't like a lot of those dirt cheap arms, like under Turnbull, but going up a little more. Terran against Giants, getting a decent park upgrade, and he's been known for his wide splits, and like obviously those giant lefties are never something to be too afraid of. I don't love him, but at the cheaper price tag in tournaments, I might try to take a few flyer shots on him. Otherwise, going all the way down, I'm torn what I want to do with Homer Bailey, man. Like he's looked great, and then he's looked absolutely awful to the Homer Bailey we all know. But for tournaments tomorrow, where big slates, we're gonna have some powerful offenses. He's still dirt cheap. I mean, the Cardinals' offense is pretty weird. Like they are just super volatile and explosive. They can, like I've said it last week too, they can go out and score 17 runs in a game in one of the worst spots, or they can go out and score no runs or a run in one of the best spots in the game. So I don't know. I might want to take those shots on Homer Bailey tomorrow and hope we get that miss side of the hit or miss for the Cardinals.
Isn't Bailey the one? I mean, aren't the Cardinals the team that when Bailey first came back up last year, he just like destroyed in his first start or something like that? Wasn't it the Cardinals? Like he came up with who? Like who was he on last year? The Reds or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was in the
And
Reds.
like his first game, we hadn't seen Homer Bailey in a while, and his first game like up after, and there were rumors that he was improved and he made some changes, and he came up, and I think it was the Cardinals where he just like thrashed him, like. And had an awesome score. And the Cardinals were like very chalky that day. But you never know what you're going to get with Mr. Bailey. I will say this. There's heavy rain projected in that game. Even worse than that, there's 15-mile-per-hour winds projected to be blowing out to left field. So we'll want to monitor that situation. Faux show. If you know what I'm saying, Stevie.
Otherwise, though, these cheaper arms, like I'm
See,
struggling.
My problem is I like Turnbull too much. Because I'm looking around and I'm like, oh wait, Chris Archer's only 8K at home in a big park against the Rockies who struggle on the road and strike out. But it's like, but wait a minute, I can save $200 and play Turnbull. And then it's like, okay, Quintana is 7,900. This man was just 9,200. There's winds blowing in from right field over in Wrigley. And I'm getting a great price. The Phillies have been hit or miss against lefties, but I could save $100 and play Turnbull against Miami. So, like, that's my problem.
Yeah,
right?
he's the no. I'm right there with you. Like he's the one mid-tier option that stands out. Like exactly what you're saying. You put every pitcher around him and compare him to Turnbull. I like him a lot more.
That's the
like,
issue, yeah.
When he stands out at the price range where I don't really love anyone else going up maybe a K and a half on DK or anywhere below him,
Right.
he's definitely that standout option in the mid-tier for me.
Right. I'm with you, man. Let's talk about some of the bats. Maybe there's some of these guys we want to pick on. So, massive slate, and we've got some pretty high run totals. The Astros have 5.5. We're still waiting on a lot of lines as of the night before, too. The Red Sox 4.9. The Yankees, I would imagine, are going to be one of the more popular offenses. They put up a monster score tonight. Gary the Goat homered. Gleyber Torres homered. And now they get David Hess, who's just been... I mean, Stevie, he's been the nut worst, right? Like, is he the nut worst pitcher in the league, David Hess?
He's definitely up there. Yeah, it's been hitters galore anytime you want to target against him, and I can imagine I'm definitely going to want to target against him tomorrow too.
I tell you what, Stevie, I'm a Met fan. I know you're a Yankee fan. I'm a Met fan, and whenever I see it bothers me that Jason Vargas is still has a job in the major leagues and he's pitching for my team. When the Orioles throw David Hess out there every fifth start, I feel a little bit better. I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm not. At least I'm not.
It's a little reassuring.
You know what I mean? At least I'm not throwing this guy
It's
out.
unbelievable. Was it Hess's first or second start where like I think it was his first or second start where he actually had a good game or something like that.
Yeah, his first
It
start.
was his second start against
was it the
Rock.
second against like?
He came out with a fucking 33 TKP game, bro. And I think I remember people saying on Twitter like, "Oh yeah, I touted him too." Like, good for you because look where you're still playing him now. Look where that got you. But
I hope,
man,
if you touted him or played him that day, hopefully you never did it again because otherwise.
I hope you went out and bought a few lotto tickets with those lineups too.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm with you.
64% fly ball rate, sitting around 43% hard contact rate to both sides of the plate. He's not really striking at anyone, walking everyone.
It's terrible.
Like the Woba and ISO allowed is insane. It speaks for itself. Like you know by now to target against him. These Yankee power bats are coming through. Like we got Hicks back in the lineup. Like that 2 through 6 for them is always appealing now. Like Kendrick Morales coming in pretty cheap too. Tomorrow DK, he's only 3.6. If he cracks the lineup tomorrow in that fifth spot, I'm gonna love him as a nice power bat for some salary relief. But I just stack too. It's gonna be harder to fit all those guys when the whole lineup's priced up. But unless you want to wrap around them with like Clint Frazier down low for some salary relief, but like Hicks, Voit, Sanchez, Kendrick Morales for that salary relief, or like Glaber. That 2 through 6 makes for a nice power stack against Test tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think that like that's the thing about the Yankees is their lineup. They're still banged up. I got to give credit where credit's due. They're still banged up, and yet when you look at that lineup, it's still intimidating. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you guys are missing Aaron Judge. Forget about Stanton, who was intimidating. I'm just saying, forget about Stanton. You guys are missing Aaron Judge, Didi Gregorius. Like you're still missing 3 of your best players.
Andujar,
who okay, you have to. He's gone for the season. I've had that surgery twice, and yeah, maybe there's a chance he would come back for the playoffs or something. Probably not. Anyway, I don't know that was just unnecessary. But yeah, so like the good thing about the Yankees is even if you can't afford the big guys, of course you want the big guys. You want the Luke Voits and Gleyber Torreses. But even if you can't, you'll be able to get exposure to the Yankees by doing, like you said, the old wrap around, reach around, whatever you want to call it, and playing some of the cheaper dudes like LeMahieu's 4.6, and you could go down to the 9-hitter Clinton Frazier, grab yourself some Urshela, mix in Kendrick Morales, so you can still get exposure to the Yankees without having to sacrifice your pitching. Obviously, though, you're going to feel more comfortable with these expensive studs. What other offenses are you kind of looking at here, Stevie?
So, of course, Houston's going to come in super chalky tomorrow against Dylan Covey. Huge favorites, looking at almost a 6-run total right now, set at 5.8. They always have those cheaper bats you could try to grab in there too, like the main stack with the Bregman, Brantley, now Tuver's in there, Springer, Correa. It's hard to get, but like Reddick, fair priced. Yuli Gurriel is still fair priced. So yeah, I don't even mind taking those cheaper bats. Like, I'm gonna have to see where I stand in cash games for pitchers tomorrow. Like, again, I'm sure I'm not gonna be able to go spend up all the way for like 2-step pitching. But if I go like Hibb, Smith, and Turnbull, or Verlander and Turnbull, like how many of these 5K studs are we to play or not? But Yuli Gurriel definitely stands out with MPE, first base, third base eligible at a fair 4K price tag.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think Dylan Covey has not looked very good. Last year, there were moments where he won me a pretty good amount of money. This year, he has not looked anything close to resemble that. Pretty good situation, I'd say, for the Astros. But you're in the same circumstance. If you're trying to pay up, you're going to have a problem stacking the mainstay players. And like Tyler White and I think like Marisnick homer today. And like those are guys that don't homer that often. You know what I'm saying? So, like they got their homer out of the way. So, if you do come to the Astros, you kind of feel like, okay, this time I'm going to want these big boppers and, these studs. You know what I mean? And that's going to be hard to do if you are playing Verlander or any of those guys. So, maybe Verlander won't be as popular in tournaments as we would think because of the fact that these bats are so expensive that we're trying to reach. Not to mention, I mean, we do have the Seattle Mariners and the Rangers duking it out in that stadium that's just been once again just awesome for hitting.
The return of Tommy Malone
The
too.
return of Tommy Malone. The Angels and Twins game has like a 10-run total right now, or 9.5, 10-run total, something like that. Both teams, like if the Angels projected for 5.1 runs, the Twins projected for 5. There's 13-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to right field. Trevor Cahill, Michael Pineda. Guys that are giving up dongs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Guys that are giving up dongs. Process that.
Definitely give me those Angels lefties like Tommy Ostello, Otani. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, any of those explosive bats for the Twins, I like.
Yeah.
It's funny too. Pineda's my spring training sweetheart. Like he did me so well in spring training. I was like, the man's back.
But... I know, but like he sort of is. Like he's pitching well. He's just giving up a lot of home runs. But like he's not like walking dudes and then giving up 2-run shots. He's either striking you out or giving up a home run to you. So he's still been good. But the issue is like the Angels are one of those teams that are just really hard to strike out. So if the ball's going to get put in play and you're giving up a lot of hard contact, in theory, you know what I'm saying? In theory, it would be a good fit. It's not necessarily working tonight against Soterizzi, but in theory, that should work. 13-mile-an-hour winds. Very high total for a game in Los Angeles. Or Anaheim, I should say. People in LA don't like that. They get so mad that the Angels are called the LA Angels. Like, they get so mad. You ever notice that?
What, do you like the old name?
They, like... The Dodger fans are like, no, we're the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are the Anaheim Angels. Like they get mad when you call them that. They think it's ridiculous. Yeah. I still don't quite get it, but I think I do. Anyway, any other?
It's one of those like inner city rivalries.
Yeah. It's like Anaheim. You're not LA. Like, what is that? The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So it's like we're from Anaheim. We play in Anaheim, but we're here to protect Los Angeles, though. We're the Angels we're the representatives, but we're from Anaheim. I never really understood. You know what I mean? I never really understood that. But I guess they just wanted to throw Los Angeles somewhere in the name to get more fans. Like, because like if I'm from Anaheim, California, you're like,
so you got to do now. It's a desperate plead for fans.
Right. Because like and when you hear like Anaheim, you think of like Mighty Ducks. I don't even know if the Mighty Ducks are from there, but you know the Anaheim Ducks. So like I don't know. That's what, but like you don't. You add Los Angeles in the name, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, LA, really? Fancy. You know, it's like throwing organic on food. You know what I'm saying? It's like organic. But any other offenses you want to talk about, or should we go back to the cash game core stuff?
I think that's really going to be it. I see some huge wins going out for that in San Fran, but I don't know. Playing there, those price tags are kind of escalated for me. Maybe I'll have to look at some of those guys tomorrow in a little bit of a deeper dive. But I mean, I think we hit those chalky offenses tomorrow. We're still waiting on a lot of lines too for a lot of weather. So
yeah, we'll have to see. Well, weather looks like it could play a part tomorrow. There's a lot of strong winds blowing some directions. It's the night before. We got to see where these things end up.
I might have mushed my fucking Blazers bet too, by the way, for the record. They tie game right now, fourth quarter, 4 minutes left. I swear to God, bro, I should have never opened my mouth. Like, I'm notorious for doing it, and I should have known right away as soon as I said anything. I was bound to lose it then.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The jinx is real, Stevie. The jinx is real.
I never believed it, and like some of my friends are superstitious. Like if we talk about the Yankees while they're winning, like it'll crumble, and I'm like, dude, like that's not true. Like if it happens, like it's not because we said anything. But it
happens too many times, man. It's too coincidental. You know what I mean?
Yeah, after every single damn time I'd have to say something, and that's when I lose. I'm starting to believe it's really like my fault, man. Like
I'm telling you, bro, the jinx is real. You don't know how many people that I've met and they've told me that they're not a believer in the jinx and all that. And like by the time I go through a certain span of like communicating with them in the sports industry, at some point they then admit to me like, okay, there's something to this jinx shit, or like they'll secretly be like, don't say that, like, you know what I mean? They'll keep it on the sticks. Like, why not? You worried I'm gonna jinx you?
Just say,
no,
yeah.
just don't talk about it. That's all. I'm not worried about the jinx. Just don't talk about it, bro. And it's like, no, you're worried. You believe the jinx is real. You know what I mean?
The problem with sports betting, like, if you don't think it's real, like, keep talking, then
eventually it'll show you.
Yeah.
Eventually, it'll show
you don't want to believe it, then your bank account's gonna be showing it.
Because like here's the way I see it. Like, I'm all for being positive, and I'm all for like thinking it, envisioning it, and grabbing it. I'm all for all that stuff. But what it seems to be in the sports betting world is like, if you expect to, like, if you're a little more pessimistic and quiet about it, you know, your team has a 4-0 lead, and you're just gonna bitch about the next guy that struck out anyway. Like, at least like if that team lost, you technically expected it. But if they win, then now you're pleasantly surprised. It's a lot better than like thinking you got the win in the bag, doing backflips, and then all of a sudden just losing in the 9th inning. Because that is the nut worst. Like, that is like the feeling. Like
100%.
It's just like, ugh. But anyway, dropping sevens on them. We will do some. Let's do some. What's it called? Cash game core stuff. Before we get into that, the top threes, gonna remind everybody, if you haven't checked us out at wisec.com, make sure you get over there. Come see what Stevie Brown is on. Come see what Thunder Dan is on. Come see what the Nation is on. Cam G, DFS, Paulie D, myself, Patio Joe. Come find out what the Nation's on. And come let us show you how to become a better DFS player. And let us help you. You can get a day pass.
Oh my God.
What happened? Did Golden State just win it?
Myers Leonard just fucking poster Draymond Green.
Oh, look at you.
Love to see that.
Look at you cheesing.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. You can get a day pass. Try us out for $2.50. You'll get access for all the MLB content for one full day. Only thing you won't get is the Slack chat. Slack chat is for monthly members or higher. I do suggest once you try the content out and you see what it is we do, I do recommend you do sign up for a monthly membership or higher, save some money, and get into our Slack chat with the Nation, the core members of the Nation, chop up slates, work on their craft, and just figure out how to take over the DFS world, pinky in the brain style. Oh yeah, also tomorrow, so if you're listening to it, it's Tuesday. So today, Tuesday, to be clear, for those of you listening live, Paulie and I will be doing a strategy session on stacking. We're going to kind of go over stacking, explain how to stack in GPPs, explain why it's important to stack, kind of go over the numbers, how many people you should be stacking, etc., etc. That'll be included with the membership for MLB. So if you get a day pass tomorrow, you will have access to it. It'll be 1 p.m. Eastern. It will be archived. So those of you who are members and cannot watch it at that specific time, you will be able to go back. But if you can watch it live, we will have a chat set up where you can ask questions and kind of interact with me and Paulie. So that'll be tomorrow at 1.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it should be a lot of fun. We're gonna show some numbers and reveal, stacking as a whole. And we're going to have more of those in the future. I know Stevie has talked about getting down to some strategy sessions, going over some MME stuff, and a lot of the guys are ready to do it. So as we go on with this season, you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to have some strategy sessions included with your membership. So it's a great time to be a part of the Wise Take Nation. All right, Stevie, cash game core, bro. Verlander?
I think we're going to go Verlander. Yeah, we'll go Verlander.
Do we go Turnbull for now just to keep like the build easier?
Yeah, we'll definitely go Turnbull for now.
I do
There's ways to go all the way up to like another 9K pitcher.
Right. I was gonna say I do respect the fact that I know you're gonna try. If the value's there, you're probably gonna try to go up and grab you a second spend up, right?
It's all like dependent. We'll see tomorrow what value opens up and everything. Like it's not like when we had the Cardinals at like a 6.5 run total the other day where we need to jam in those bats. But,
right.
We'll see. I don't mind Turnbull at all, so I'll definitely have no problem playing him.
With it. Who's the stud bat you want to jam up in her?
Stud bat I'm looking to jam up. Has to be Yankee. I'm going to go with Gary Sanchez, and this is kind of goes into a little bit of GPP stuff too. I've been actually paying up for catchers in great spots because, like, I either go opposite sides of the spectrum where I'm going like that 2-3 catcher where I'm just taking the salary relief and paying up for bats on other spots, or I'm taking that absolute stud catcher because I think there's a big margin between top end guys or in the bottom end, right? Gary Sanchez has like 20 DKP potential. Like obviously you still a home run and like give him a little more upside there. Compared to like rest of the field where you might be happy with like a 3 to 6 or something like that. I think there's a lot of upside to like carry a lineup.
I'm with you, man. I think that makes a lot of sense. And for value on both sides, we could probably just go Kendrick Morales, right? Assuming he's batting fifth against Hess.
Yeah, in the middle of that core stack there, I love that.
Boom. There you go. Top three pitchers overall.
Verlander, Caleb Smith, Domingo Herman.
I'm going to go with Verlander, Turnbull, and I will also go with Domingo Herman. Top three stacks so far.
Yankees, Houston. I'm really curious what that run total is going to be for when Texas comes out. But for now, I'll stick with. I usually like finding a cheaper stack that helps make other things work, but you know what? I'll just go with something a little more chalky. And I'm gonna go with. I'll say the Rangers.
The Rangers. The Yankees, I do like. I'm going to go down to this Minnesota Angels game because these guys are killing me today. I was all about the Odorizzi regression, dude. And, like, the numbers are there. He will regress. I thought maybe it was tonight because the Angels don't typically strike out a ton. But they are striking out more than they have ever struck out before because I announced the spot. I kind of think I mushed this situation. How you living over there, Stevie?
Bro, not good. 10 seconds left. Courage hit a 3. Blazers 2.5. But the way he got to make that 3 was fucking unreal. He went for a layup, got blocked there, got his own offensive rebound. Of course, sprints to the 3-point like he always does. Chucks it, makes it.
Bro, that.
Oh, wait, I think he's waving it off or something. I don't know. I'll find out.
He'll find out, everybody. Wish Stevie some luck. For Stevie Brown, for myself, the entire Wise Take Nation, as always, good luck.
Yeah.